Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjabiyari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjabihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Gopi Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Gopi Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachariyati Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjabihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Jaya Radha Madhava Sri Radhe Jaya Radha Kalashanji Radha Kalashanji Sri Radhe Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Shishi Radha Madhava ki jai. Shishi Radha Kalashanji ki jai. Shishi Gornitai ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. If we can do the invocation verses together, please. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narotamam devyam sarasvatim vyasam tato jayam udirayat nashtapreya shabreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati utam shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtaki. Okay, we're in Canto 9, Chapter 10, verse 51 through 55. We don't have many to go through here, so maybe we'll catch up a little bit of time. There's a mic right there. Right there. Thank you. 51 is our focus verse for today. Hare Krishna.
Lord Ramachandra became king during Treta Yuga, but because of his good government, the age was like Satya Yuga. Everyone was religious and completely happy.
O Maharaj Parikshit, best of the Bharata dynasty, during the reign of Lord Ramachandra, the forests, the rivers, the hills and mountains, the states, the 7 islands, and the 7 seas were all favorable in supplying the necessities of life for all living beings.
When Lord Ramchandra, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, was the king of the world, all bodily and mental suffering, disease, old age, bereavement, lamentation, distress, fear and fatigue were completely absent. There was even no death for those who did not want it.
Wow. Can you believe there was people that wanted death then? Interesting, huh?
Lord Ramachandra took a vow to accept only one wife and have no connection with any other woman. He was a saintly king, and everything in his character was good, untinged by qualities like anger. He taught good behavior for everyone, especially for householders in terms of varnashram dharma. Thus, he taught the general public by his personal activities.
There's that word, Varshana Dharma.
Mother Sita was very submissive, faithful, shy and chaste, always understanding the attitude of her husband. Thus, by her character and her love and service, she completely attracted the mind of the Lord.
Wow. The ideal householders. Okay, 51. Tretayam Vartamanyanyam. Tretayam Vartamanyanyam. Kalya Kritya Samo Bhavat. Kalya Kritya Samo Bhavat. Rame Rajani Dharmane. Rame Rajani Dharmane. Sarva Bhuta Sukha Vahi. Sarva Bhuta Sukha Vahi. Bolo. Tretayam Vartamanyanyam. Kalya Kritya Samo Bhavat. Rame Rajani Dharmani Sarva Bhuta Sukhavaye. One more. Chaitayam Vartamanayam Kalakritya Samo Bhavat Rame Rajani Dharmani Sarvabhuta Sukhavaye. Word for word together, please. Ready? Here we go. Tretayam in the Treta Yuga. Vartamanyanam, although situated in that period. Kalyaha, the period. Kritya, the Satya Yuga. Samaha, equal. Abhavyat, it so became. Rame, because of Lord Ramachandra's being present. Rajani, as the ruling king. Dharmane, because he was fully religious. Sarva Bhutya, of all living entities. Sukhya Avahe, giving full happiness. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation: Lord Ramachandra became king during Treta Yuga, but because of his good government, the age was like Satya Yuga. Everyone was religious and completely happy. Please repeat. Lord Ramachandra became king during Treta Yuga, but because of his good government, the age was like Satya Yuga. Everyone was religious and completely happy. Purport: among the four yugas, Satya, Tretya, Dwarpa, and Kali, Kali Yuga is the worst. But if the process of Varnashram Dharma is introduced, even in the age of Kali, the situation of Satya Yuga can be invoked. Wow. The Hare Krishna movement, or the Krishna consciousness movement, is meant for this purpose. Kalir dosha nidye rajan astihi ko mahan gunaha kirtanyad eva Krishna yasya mukta sangya param vrajayate. My dear king, although Kali Yuga is full of faults, there is still one good quality about this age. Simply by chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, one can become free from material bondage and be promoted to the transcendental kingdom. Bhagavatam 12:3-51. If people take to the Sankirtan movement of chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, they will certainly be free from contamination of Kali Yuga, and the people in this age will be happy, as people were in Satya Yuga, the golden age. Wow. Anyone, anywhere, can easily take to the Hare Krishna movement. One need only to chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, observe the rules and regulations, and stay free from contamination of sinful life. Even if one is sinful and cannot give up sinful life immediately, if he chants the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra with devotion and faith, he will certainly be freed from all sinful activities, and his life will be successful. Param Vitayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. This is the blessing of Lord Ramachandra, who has appeared in this age of Kali as Lord Gaurasandara. Om Gyan Timaranda Shah Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Anmalitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Ena Bhutale Swayam Rupam Kamamayam Dadhati Swapadantikam Vanchikal Patarubhyas Cha Kripa Sindhu Bhyeva Cha Patitanam Pavane Bhyo Vaishnave Bhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedantas Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirashesha Shunyavadi Pasyatari Shatarine. Hare Krishna. Very interesting sentence Srila Prabhupada starts us off with, right? Among the four yugas, Satya, Tretya, Dwarpa, and Kali, the Kali Yuga is the worst. But if the process of Varnashram Dharma is introduced, even in this age of Kali, the situation of Satya Yuga can be invoked. Krishna speaks in the Bhagavad Gita. He says that his first lesson Krishna gives is what? You're not this body. You're spirit soul. But he also speaks further in the Bhagavad Gita about how each and every one of us have to work. This material world is made in a way that everybody has to work. But we still need to work within understanding that we're not the body. So we can look at this body like a vehicle. When I have a Kia Soul, right? It's a 2015 Kia Soul. Am I my vehicle? No. It's owned by me, though. Ultimately, it's owned by Krishna, but he's given it to me for this moment, time to take care of, right? And so I should understand that vehicle. But we should understand the purpose of the vehicle first. What is the purpose of the vehicle? Any suggestions on what the purpose of our vehicles are, our cars? To commute, to get us to one point from, right? To serve Krishna, but serve also our communities, right? So that we can go to work. So we understand that the vehicle has a purpose that we use it for or take it to, right? We're taking the vehicle to perform some kind of service for our community. Ultimately, a Vaishnav is dependent on that service is ultimately the service of Krishna. This vehicle, though, if we get so involved in it, it might never take us to the place that it's meant to, right? We get so addicted to it, so absorbed in making sure that our vehicle's taken care of, we stop at every gas station and blow up the tire. Oh, 42 PSI. We're good. Let's go. Oh, wait, we better go check the tires again. Oh, there's a paint shop. Let's go get our vehicle painted. Oh, there's a tire shop. Let's go get new tires. Oh, the oil change. And so if we get so addicted to our vehicle of paying attention to it, we never even use it for the particular situation it's used for, right? Matter of fact, you see people nowadays that are so addicted to their vehicles that road rage is a thing, right? Get close, even close to the vehicle, they take it personal. If you go to India, though, everybody's honking and everybody's just like, hey, we're just trying to get one place to another. I'm not the vehicle, you know. So each vehicle that we have has a particular purpose of where its destination is, but also within each vehicle has a specific purpose. For instance, my Kia Soul takes me, it's a commuter car, gets good gas mileage, yada yada. Tulsi Saki Prabhu has a minivan. What is the benefits of a minivan? Yes, you can fit a lot of devotees in it. What's the benefit of a big 18-wheeler diesel truck? You can fill it with 300 pallets of BBT books. So these are long distance vehicles, right? Matter of fact, it says quite often when you're driving, there's a speed limit and then there's a truck speed limit because they're meant to go slower, right? So they're slower, but they go long distances, right? So similarly, each vehicle has a specific purpose, and our vehicles also have a specific purpose that they're meant for. Ultimately, that purpose is to serve Krishna. Within that, though, we need to understand our vehicle and what it's meant to do best. What's our dharma? What's our occupation? What is our nature? If I'm to take my Corvette, Dharma Prabhu has a Corvette. He takes his Corvette and he takes it out to the farm and starts tilling the land. How well is his Corvette going to be at tilling the land and in farming? Not so good, right? But if I have a tractor and I take that tractor to the Texas Speedway and I'm racing all of the fast NASCARs, is that tractor going to do very good? Matter of fact, it's probably going to break after a while. You're going to be flooring it the whole time. It's going to go 20 miles an hour, and it's going to be like, we're not made for this. We're meant for nice and slow, hard work, right? So even within the vehicles we have, we can see that they have a specific purpose that they're made for and a certain way to treat them. As a matter of fact, they come with an owner's manual, right? And if we misuse the vehicle for its purpose, it has problems. For instance, an 18-wheeler can go 10 to 15,000 miles without getting an oil change. If you did that with your commuter car, what would happen? Not so good, huh? Your engine wouldn't last very long, right? Your transmission, if you were trying to pull with your commuter car a big load, like the diesel truck, your transmission would go out pretty quickly. Do you guys get what I'm saying? Does this make sense? That each vehicle has a specific purpose. And then there's categories of different vehicles. Okay. Back to Bhagavad Gita. Each one of us has a nature, and if we work in that nature, then we use our vehicle in the most healthy way. But if you're not using your vehicle, your body, in a way that it's meant to with its nature, you start to have problems. What are the problems of the body? Mental anxiety. Friendships become tough. You might snap at your friends or the people that you love. You might start getting backaches, this ache, that ache. I was noticing the other day in the temple, there was this one devotee that I could see was having a little bit of difficulty. And so I was trying to encourage them. And then the next day I talked to him again. And I said, Prabhu, you're a leader. And so you need to understand that because you're not getting that propensity fulfilled, that you're going to find some times where you feel a little frustrated in the temple situation because you don't have your own leadership thing. So just understand that and try to look for the thing that you can find that you can be a leader. And they really appreciated that advice. But it's true. The truth is that we have a propensity within each of us, and if we don't get it fulfilled, we get frustrated, and it comes in bickering, complaining, criticizing, fighting, bickering amongst each other, because we're not getting our mental, our computer system within our car is being abused. It's not being used right. Okay, Nanda Braja, please tell me how this relates to Bhagavad Gita. Okay, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that it's better to do one's own duty imperfectly than another's perfectly. So we can understand here that Krishna is saying that if you do somebody else's duty perfectly, even that it's better to do your duty and make mistakes. Why is that? Because when you're in your duty, when you're in your nature and you're making mistakes, you learn from it. You grow. You progress. If you're doing somebody else's duty perfectly, you're missing out on the opportunity to grow. You're losing out on progress. So, Arjuna's in this situation, isn't he? Comes to Krishna, battle's about to start. He says, I think I better go to the forest. Krishna says, no, Arjuna, you're a Kshatriya. You're a warrior. You need to fight. It is your duty, right? So we often come into International Society for Krishna Consciousness, and we want to find our position. We want to find our spot. Where can we help? Where can we serve, right? And at first, because we're not so familiar with our nature, we might be asked to do things that aren't so much in our nature because they're practical and they get the ball moving towards devotional service. And this is good. I played sports all my life. And the duty of the coach was to be able to see his players and understand them and put them in the best position possible to succeed. And you knew that because of that, your team would have the best success, best outcome. Yes. However, sometimes as a coach, you have to put somebody in a position that they're not meant to be. But you know that that's where the team needs that person. And so the coach might say, hey, right now, I know that you're better at this position, a wide receiver, but I really need you to play linebacker right now. I don't have anybody else. Would you be willing to do this position until we can free you up so that you can play your best position? It would be best for the team, and we would really appreciate it. And the player goes, yeah, I'm a team player, coach. Or they explain that they're not a team player and they're actually only about themselves, and there's an issue, right? Yeah. Sometimes that happens, right? But at least you get to know the person, right? So similarly, we're meant to, there's one side of it. Okay. So if we come into a position, there should be this clear communication of how that we're moving towards the progress of understanding what our nature is and how best that we can serve Krishna in that nature. However, because we're Vaishnavas and above this is service to Krishna, we're willing to put things off to the side. We want to play for the team. We want to play for Srila Prabhupada's team. That doesn't mean that you don't get an understanding of what your dharma is. It doesn't mean that you don't get an understanding of what your vehicle is. So when Srila Prabhupada says statements like this, that the Varnashram Dharma is introduced, even in the age of Kali, this situation can be invoked. The golden age can be invoked. And yet as devotees, we know that the goal is the Sankirtan movement, but we throw out the Varnashram Dharma. I should understand my nature. I should understand how I serve best. Oh, just forget it. I'll just chant Hare Krishna. No, you should chant Hare Krishna, but through the progression of Hare Krishna, you should start understanding your nature. You should understand your vehicle. But then do we get attached to the vehicle? No. By chanting Hare Krishna, it purifies our intelligence to understand both at the same time what kind of vehicle we have, how to use it properly, and on the other side, that it's not us. So how do we move towards this? Well, this is the purpose of Guru. Because we're confused at first, we've been distracted by the fact that we need to have some kind of security, or we need some kind of followers or wealth or attraction of the opposite sex, these different things that distract us. We put so much into a persona that's not even us. This is called being not being authentic. But we come to the Krishna consciousness movement, we chant Hare Krishna, we start getting in touch with Shiksha Guru, Diksha Guru, that starts to move us towards our propensity, our natural propensity. I've heard it been said that first initiation is the initiation of the Harinam mantra, Harinam initiation. We chant Hare Krishna under the guidance of the Guru. But by your Brahminical initiation, you should have an idea of what your Varna is. You should have an idea of your service. It should be clear. This is what I'm trying to say. By the way, when I say it's clear, I mean that you can see the Varna. Life is a progression of how to better progress in your duty. So don't get stuck the fact that it's not clear. You should be able to see the category of your vehicle. Do you have a commuter car? Do you have a farming equipment? Do you have a diesel truck? Now what you carry, what you commute to, what kind of farming, these things are details. But those details get cleaner and cleaner and cleaner the farther that we move. I heard once that devotees, as they progress, actually disagree more with one each other. And when I heard that, I was like, what? Huh? Devotees disagree more? And it was explained that yes, the more and more we progress as devotees, the more and more we get specific with our devotional service, and the more and more we become particular in how we serve Krishna. And that is not exactly the same as the other devotees. For instance, you can imagine the elderly gopis are in Vrindavan, and they're speaking together, and one of them says, you know what? Krishna likes cheesecake most. One of the other elderly gopis says, "What are you talking about? You know nothing about Krishna. Krishna likes apple pie the most." And so they debate for an hour about whether Krishna likes cheesecake or apple pie. Who's right? Both are right. Because Krishna loves that gopi's cheesecake, and the other elderly gopi, he likes her apple pie most. So in the International Society of Krishna Consciousness, we have a founder Acharya, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, our founder Acharya, our preeminent Shiksha Guru. He gives us our principles, follow 4 regular principles, chant 16 rounds. He asks us to read his books. He asks us to wake early. He asks us so many things in his books about how to follow this process. And then within that, there's so many details. But as we grow, those details might become principles in our own individual life. But we should know that they're principles of our own individual life, and we don't start putting them on other people. Right? Does that make sense? For instance, it's a principle for the elderly gopi that Krishna likes apple pie. It's her life. But in the bigger scheme of things, in Goloka Vrindavan, it's a detail. You see? So the set and the subset. But in an individual basis, that small detail might become a principle for you. This is a Chinta Beta Beta Tattva, explained in a different way. That we have a society here that our founder Acharya has given us to live in. He gives us principles to live by. And as we grow as devotees, we get more detailed in our service. And even those small details to our personal life become principles. And we do this through a process of Shiksha, which can be the Diksha Guru or the Shiksha Guru. They're teaching us how to move forward and progress in our individuality. But at the same time, we don't get stuck with this, that I am my body, that I am my position, that I am my Varna, that I am my ashram. I am a devotee, I'm a Vaishnav. I do whatever it takes to please Krishna. But that doesn't mean that we don't, as devotees, try to understand Varnashram Dharma and understand its importance and throw the baby out with the bathwater. If I just chant Hare Krishna, everything will be good. Yes. And if you're chanting Hare Krishna nicely, you'll start moving towards you'll start understanding clearly about how your devotional service goes. And if you're not, then you should be talking to somebody. It's a big warning sign. You should start talking and find some individual instruction about how to clarify your devotional service. It says this in the Nectar of Instruction. Rupa Goswami says when you live in the Holy Dham that you should practice underneath a devotee that lives there so that you know how to live in the Holy Dham. I only went 5 minutes over. Yes. So, we talked about the fact that this body is a vehicle. Our vehicles have certain purposes that are natural, in sync and in rhythm with what that vehicle is. And that gives us these dimensions of health, you could say, that allow us to move properly or live healthy in our life. But at the same time, we don't become so addicted to the vehicle that we forget that we're not that body, that we're a spirit soul. If we're chanting Hare Krishna nicely, we will both understand the vehicle. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that truth is the study of nescience and absolute truth at the same time. So we will very come clear on what kind of vehicle we have, what our duty is, what our dharma is, at the same time becoming very much attached to chanting Hare Krishna and knowing we're not the body, that we're a spirit soul. We come to ISKCON trying to find our dharma, and at first or throughout some time, we might be working within our nature, but that's okay because we have Krishna on our side, and he's going to move us towards it and give us some understanding about how to move forward that. But we might take one for the team, they call it. However, you should have a Shiksha Guru that is going through that process with you. Right now, you're not in the place that you should be, but that's okay. You're getting clarity about who you are, and we'll move you towards that as soon as possible. Any questions, comments, thoughts? Mother Kunti.
Thank you, Nanda Braja, for a very insightful class about this, basically the second chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. I mean, it seems like you went through the whole chapter. It seems like in Lord Ramachandra's time, my question is that when the people were born in that time, it was so, like it said in the verse today, that the situation was so beautiful, so perfect and balanced, that Satya Yuga appeared in Treta Yuga. And then Srila Prabhupada opens the purport about the difficult nature of Kali Yuga, but he encourages Varnashram Dharma development. So my question is were the people of Lord Ramachandra's time, were they already realized? Was that going on? Is that they didn't need a process for self-realization, or was that the situation?
Well, not necessarily self-realized. Every yuga, the percentage of our purity goes down, right? So we're in Treta Yuga. Yes. So in this age, here's a question for you guys to help me answer this question. It says this is Treta Yuga. Is it in our yuga, this yuga, right? Dwarpa Yuga, then Treta Yuga. In this story, is it Treta Yuga, then Dwarpa Yuga? It's okay. So it's the norm. Satya, Treta, Dwarpa. Yes. Yes. There we go. Okay. So in this story of Ramachandra that we're particularly reading in the Srimad Bhagavatam, because it's read over and over again, is that Treta Yuga came after Satya Yuga, correct? Okay, so there is some lessening of spiritual realization, but not as much as, of course, Kali Yuga and Dwarpa Yuga, right? So, but the point of Lord Ramachandra is that his purification, his leadership was so strong that he brought back the Satya Yuga, or the golden age of Satya Yuga. So it's very important to understand that it's been said that the Lord Chaitanya's movement will bring about a golden age right here in Kali Yuga. And so Srila Prabhupada is giving us a very clear understanding about how we bring a golden age together. A, Sankirtan, and B, Varnashram Dharma. We should set this up. From my understandings, I've heard this many times, is Srila Prabhupada said, I did 50% of my work here. The other 50% was Varnashram Dharma. So we have people that are working very hard, like Urmila Prabhu, who has a book called Dharma, Kriya Dharma. We have people like Nityananda Prabhu that is also putting together in a school or in a university that helps with Varnashram Dharma. We have a lot of devotees that are looking at this and saying, okay, how do we practically bring around Varnashram Dharma in the way that we're in a time, place, and circumstance of now that brings about this, helps push us forward. And so through Sankirtan, we're going to have a golden age. Srila Prabhupada's our Lord Ramachandra. Isn't that amazing? Or actually, Srila Prabhupada clearly says that Lord Ramachandra came as Lord Gaurasundara. He came as Lord Granga, right? Does that answer your question okay, Mother Kunti? So, no, the purification for Treta Yuga wasn't that everybody was self-realized. It says that each yuga, one of the legs of religiosity is taken down, right? I'm forgetting him right now. I know one's truthfulness. It's the only one that we have left. Cleanliness. Yes, no? And what are the other two? Austerity and mercy. So what's the first one that disappears? Do you know, Drista? Yeah. So point is one of those pillars are taken down from Satya Yuga to Treta Yuga. Another one is taken down from Treta to Dwarpa. And another one is taken down between Dwarpa and Kali. And then finally the last one, which is truthfulness, will be destroyed. And so this is a degradation of yeah, that makes sense. Mercy, yeah, cleanliness, probably the next one, and then truthfulness. So yes, people were already degrading, but Lord Ramachandra's leadership brought them back up, brought around the golden age. So my explanation is that this is what actually happening right now in our age right now through Srila Prabhupada and Gauranga. Yes, Mother Sucharya, can we get Mother Sucharya?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
You were mentioning about apple pie,
Yes.
and some devotees would love to serve Krishna apple pie. Well, there's a story about apple pie with Srila Prabhupada.
Oh my gosh. Please tell it.
So, Mukunda Maharaj now, but when he was married to Janaki, she would always make Prabhupada sweets, and she particularly would like to make him apple pie. So she'd bring him apple pie like regularly. And so one day, in a very soft voice, Srila Prabhupada said to her, "Do you know how to make sandesh?" And also I had a question about the very first verse that you read today. It was describing that the rivers, the seas, and the oceans were all doing their best to make the world peaceful, happy, and deliver so many things. So what does that look like when the rivers, the seas, and the oceans are all delivering auspiciousness?
That's a great question. What does it look like? The golden age, but what does the golden age look like? I'll be honest with you. I went through this process called birth. And I forget all my past lives, So, but we okay, being a little facetious. Okay, we get the stories of Krishna in Srila Prabhupada's Krishna book, right? We start to hear about how things are so sweet, the Yamuna's flowing, Govardhan is producing so many fruits, everything is there for the devotees. This is the spiritual world, and so we get a little bit of a glimpse, right? Srila Prabhupada said that these paintings and these pictures that the devotees made were pictures into the spiritual world, right? So I don't know exactly what it looks like, but through Srila Prabhupada's instructions, through his books and stuff, we get some understanding of what real spiritual environment looks like.
I wanted to say that Srila Prabhupada would often take morning walks near the oceans. And so a devotee said to him, "Prabhupada, the ocean is so beautiful. Just look at the waves and it looks like there's jewels sparkling with the sunshine." So Prabhupada said, "Yes, it is nice from a distance."
Yeah.
If you get close, there's a lot of stuff going on in the ocean.
Yeah. Srila Prabhupada is so expert, The devotees would find too much attachment in the material world and he'd smash them. And then they would be too they'd be too negative about the world. And then he would explain how beautiful Krishna was in making it, It's like he was always throwing curveballs. Always throwing the devotees left and right.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you for nice class. Based on these verses, even I was thinking, there was even no death for those who did not want it. So it's such an absolute platform.
Wow.
But then again, we do understand that Krishna as Mahaprabhu was also present on this earth,
Mm.
and as he predicted. But we don't hear accounts during that time that there was no death and there was no disease. So what I'm thinking now is that okay, when he came, that was not his intention that we live on that platform, and just bringing it back down to, because there was a lot of conversations on we don't have good leaders or something, but it's just like this whole month of Kartik that we've been having here and coming in the evenings, it's so ecstatic.
Mm.
So I just had a feeling like the process in itself is so ecstatic. The more we can absorb ourselves in it, the more blissful we become, irrespective of how terrible it is, in this country or on this planet or in this whole solar system, or so it's like our, how much are we able to absorb ourselves in Mahaprabhu's movement versus how it was when Lord Ramchandra was around. That was just my take.
Yeah. I was thinking also, the holy name is the avatar of this age also. So Mahaprabhu gave us the whole, the Maha Mantra, gave us the holy name. And so one comment on that is that we have our own natures, and some people will think very deeply about these issues. They will think about the different issues that are going on with the world, how to fix them, how to move. And there will be some people that their nature is to be like, I don't want to think about that. I don't want to talk about it. And so therefore I have my service and I focus on. But we shouldn't think that either one of these are wrong. We should understand that they're all necessary for us to move this Sankirtan movement forward. Everybody has their battlefield of Kurukshetra. So to be clear in that doesn't mean everybody's going to be a Kshatriya killing people. Some people's battlefield is their home. And what does that look like? Can I keep doing this for Krishna? Every meal that I make, can I make it for Krishna? Every morning that I wake up, can I serve the deities fresh water for Krishna? That's a battlefield. The battlefield becomes the devotee and Maya, right? And there's an external that looks like it. But the battlefield is different for everyone. Some people it's going to be in Goluka, and some people will be in Ayodhya. Some people will be on the Sankirtan pathway, And so it's really important to understand that just because this person has a different vehicle and this person doesn't, everybody has the battlefield. Everybody has a war against Maya that they're going for, and we all need to cheer each other on and encourage people to really get closer to Krishna and Krishna to get closer to them so that you can win your battle. Mother Kunti?
Well, battles have to be chosen wisely. You
Yes.
have to choose wisely. I look at 75, 50, anywhere between 50 and 100 challenges a day.
Mm.
And I have to either keep my mouth shut or say something. And if I say something, I have to pray and be really careful.
And
So,
who are you?
Exactly.
Right? Who am I? So many times this is what I was saying about the person that I saw that was a leader. In leadership, you have to recognize and be discerning about things. Is that right? Is that wrong? Right? But we might not have the position of leadership that we do it. So then our mind will go, I recognize it, I see it, but it's not my position. And I need to be quiet. But then if we get so disturbing that we're not getting that nature taken care of somewhere, it can be very tough. And all of a sudden you say something and you're like, I couldn't handle it. I couldn't help it. I had to correct this thing, By the way, yeah. So it's very interesting that we move for the health of our community and for ourselves, we move towards our nature and understanding who are we, what vehicle we have, and how to produce the right service of it.
Also to take help from those who are in the position.
Yeah.
Just like you may have a problem with some function here at the temple, but there's a person in charge of that function.
Mm-hmm.
And you take your concern to them rather than approach the team member directly, then things seem to go very nicely.
Yeah.
And it's like it becomes more oiled.
Right.
The machine is oiled.
Yeah.
And you feel better.
Yeah.
It's like,
absolutely.
I don't know.
Right?
I'm still learning.
Well, and one thing is that one thing we don't teach, and one thing I think we could teach in our society, encourage more, is that when we see people doing things in a way that we don't agree with, we don't have to look at it as wrong or right. We can look at it as, that's not how I would do it. And therefore we get more clarity about our service. If we're so worried about the other person and how they're doing it right or wrong or indifferent, you never take it internally to understand what your authenticity is. It's a lesson. If I see this person working like this and I don't agree with it, I don't tell them they're wrong. I take a note that that's not how I would do it if I was put in this position, and then you get clarity of who you are, what kind of vehicle you have, right? But so often, because we don't understand this very simple thing that's so important. By the way, when I say simple, it doesn't mean that, you just, like, we're not taught it. We're not taught these kind of things. Like, no, that person, let them have their individuality. Let them have their authenticity. Let them have their flavor. And if you don't agree with the flavor, understand that's your flavor. And you're getting, that person helped you. We should thank them when we see somebody do something that they don't do, that's not the thing we do. We should go, I really appreciate how you did that differently than I would. Okay, we maybe not say that. But anyways, we can thank them. I really appreciate how you did that in such a way that, like this and this. Yeah. But you'll live in much better peace. I'll tell you that right now. You'll become much more tolerant and working. Yeah. Yes. What's your question?
In the end of the purport, they said that if you chant Hare Krishna, your sins will go away. And when our sins will go away, we'll go back to Godhead. And why are we not going?
Well, so okay. So do you know the game? Okay, you ever play board games? You play a board game and you have to do something to move and stuff. Have you ever played Monopoly? You played Monopoly before, okay? So if you pull Monopoly and you play, you pull a card because you hit community chest or whatever, and it says chant Hare Krishna, and then move to Boardwalk. So we chant Hare Krishna and then we move to Boardwalk. Okay, so in the game you chanted Hare Krishna for the purpose of moving and getting something out of it, right? So right now, because we're in an conditioned state, we're playing this game, we're chanting Hare Krishna so that we can play the game nicely. When we chant Hare Krishna, we get nice relationships, we get nice food, we get Krishna really takes care of us. And so sometimes we get stuck chanting Hare Krishna for the niceness around us. That's okay. That's a mode of goodness. We're bringing it. At some point, though, we've got to stop chanting Hare Krishna to play the game, and we have to do it only for Krishna's pleasure. And so we move to that position, and we start doing it only for Krishna's pleasure, and then our sin of wanting to be the controller or the more subtle sins, right? We have gross sins like intoxications, right? That's very outwardly. You understand? But there's also internal sin that we have, which is the desire to be the controller, right? So we've got to stop trying to use the name of Krishna even to chant Hare Krishna to control in a certain way, yada yada. We have to overcome these through anartha nivritti. We got to get the unwanted things. And so then we start to develop through the Guru's mercy, through Srila Prabhupada's mercy, we start to go, wait a minute, Why am I chanting Hare Krishna? Oh, I'm doing it to please Krishna. And then we chant for a little while, and then we start chanting Hare Krishna, and we're thinking about, anyways, so many things. And then we catch ourselves. Oh, wait a minute. I'm only supposed to be chanting for Krishna's pleasure. So this is a process that we're chanting Hare Krishna with offenses, right? And then we want to move to the stage where we're chanting Hare Krishna, and we're cleaning the offenses. Sometimes it's offensive, sometimes it's not. And then eventually we get to the point where we just chant Hare Krishna, where it's completely for Krishna's pure pleasure, and that becomes pure chanting. So we're in a process of that. So we're chanting Hare Krishna not in a pure state. What do you think? Grab the mic. What do you think? Yeah? I thought it was really big of you to ask the question by yourself. That's the first time I've seen you ask a question with the mic. Thank you very much for doing it. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Question from Rupanuga Prabhu.
Yes, Rupanuga Prabhu, I saw that.
When this community was being formed again in 1979 and 80, many devotees joined and were asked to live communally and take up services that were not necessarily what they had been trained to do. This system did not work well, and His Holiness Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj and the temple advisors decided that householders should get jobs and support their own families, helping out whenever they could. He was criticized by many for introducing a new model of devotee communities. How is this model being accepted now? Is it successful? And there is a follow-up question also.
Should we change the community model in this country? Hare Krishna. I think this is a perfect example of having a head coach that can see his team and can see what he has in players and what he needs to do for the best of the team to succeed at the moment in time. Understanding that some people are going to flourish in that new, taking the team in that direction, and some people are going to have difficulties. But the team loves their coach so much that they're willing to take that austerity of whatever austerity. And so I think that this is a perfect example of that of a head coach that is understanding what direction we need to move. He's understanding the goal. He understands the game. He understands the rules. He understands this, and he moves the team.